Dorothy Gentry, iMessenger Media, welcome
How
back.
are you doing?
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Talk about the road back to the Mavericks.
I mean, obviously, y'all traded me, so you feel me? Back to a team that I was on previously. And then, I was there, we went to the playoffs, had a little bit of success in that season, which was, fun. We were gonna start a new season and had a lot of optimism. Got some friends over there. Nick Claxton was my rookie. Doe, obviously, we had formed a pretty big bond. Dan Smith Jr., amongst others, just kind of, people you guys are familiar with. The season didn't go the way we kind of wanted it to go. We weren't, having much success in terms of wins and losses. They decided to make a certain move, and, I kind of had a choice between kind of like sitting with the Raptors for the rest of the year or trying to join a contender, understanding even though that would burn up my bird rights and make free agency harder. But, when you're in the position or, you've been in the league that long, you want to play meaningful basketball. So shout out to the Raptors for being, first class and whatnot. And then I had a decision between the Lakers and the Mavs. I mean, a couple others, but mainly those two. And anytime, I've kind of been knocked down, I try to take, the harder path and not necessarily make it hard on myself, but just in terms of like that growth, right? And so when I made, obviously, which everybody's gonna ask about the comments, it was all about comfort zones. It was funny because both LA and Dallas fan bases kind of thought it was like about them, but it really wasn't. It was like man versus bully, you know what I'm saying? So given what happened with Brooklyn and being top 5 in multiple categories, points and threes and assists, and to kind of have that exit play out like that, obviously, sucked, hurt, all those other things. So the perspective was man versus bully. It really had nothing to do with either fan base, to be honest. So that was it. I was facing some adversity and tried to take a harder path in terms of just growth. And so far in my life, that's pretty much served me well. It's how I got to NBA. It's how I rehabbed an ACL in 5 months. Fastest in basketball history, at least. I think there was a soccer player that beat me. Did in like 3.5 or something, but that's a whole other thing. That's really all it comes down to.
But the fans are happy to have you back. How does that make you feel?
Oh, amazing. I mean, I've probably the most consistent basketball that I've played has been in the Mavs jersey. The farthest I've gone in the playoffs, Western Conference Finals, was in a Mavs jersey. And ironically, 6 months ago, I bought my family home in Dallas. So, and I get to now live in it. So, it's fun and it's great to be back. And obviously these guys are my friends. I'm still familiar with over half the team. I mean, Maxey, Dwight Powell, like just all the cornerstones of the Mavs franchise that are all still here. And, as much as he won't admit this, Sweeney loves me. I don't know if y'all know Sweeney, but Sweeney loves me. That's my dog. So, he's happy I'm back.
Thank you.
Dwayne Price, Mavs.com. Spencer, what was that like for you being away from the team the last 2 years?
Yeah.
And much has changed in the backcourt. Kyrie is here,
Yeah.
and Clay is here. So how do you fit in?
So I played with Kyrie in Brooklyn. Familiar with him, obviously familiar with Luka for a couple years. Clay I've never played with, but early on, obviously in practices, runs, whatever, like you can see how seamless of a fit Clay's gonna be. Like he's a top 2-3 shooter of all time, which is sensational, right? Like anytime you're top 2 or 3 at anything in the world, like you're amazing. On the better teams I've been on, it's all about just kind of plugging in the gaps. If it needs to be a little bit of pace, if Luka's tired or something, maybe I do that. If it needs to be spot up shooting because Kyrie's cooking, and I do that. If Clay's cooking, I need to be passing him the ball, and you do that. And if all 3 are rolling and you gotta play defense, we even saw that with the Lakers. Like in the last 15, 20 games of the season, they relied on me as like the end of game stopper. And so just doing whatever it takes to win.
Hey Spencer, Landon Thomas, Mavs Fans for Life. First of all, welcome back.
Thank you.
Just going off of your response, that's one of the biggest things about your game is the adaptability and the versatility as well, being able to play a role on which team, wants from you.
Yeah.
Where's that come from? A lot of players just have roles, but you can.
Yeah. I mean, probably the fact that one, like I'm always trying to win the game, so every decision I'm making is with that in mind. Like I'm not coming in with preconceived notions or anything like that. But then two, probably because my basketball road has been very up and down. Like I wasn't the #1 recruit in high school, and so every point in time, like you kind of have to figure out how to play with a different team, a different big time player. It could be that the big man is the big time guy, so now you're feeding him. It could be that there's another guard you're playing off of, and then sometimes you are the guy too. So like I've had to I've literally in the NBA been 15th on the bench, like knew I wasn't playing, like I might as well just worn street clothes even though I had a jersey on, all the way up to really probably about like second, you know what I'm saying? And then even moonlighted as a 1 when like the top guy would be hurt or something like that, and average 20, 30, game winners, this, that, and the third, done all of it, you know what I mean? So it's just figuring out where you fit, how you help the specific team you're on, and going from there.
And then the outside looking in, when you see this team in the finals, well, just what was your assessment of the team and now that you're coming into a new season?
Well, obviously this team is different, especially adding Clay. And losing D. Jones, who I think, brought a ton of athleticism and defense, obviously, to the team. But overall, I mean, I in the finals, like I kind of said, the Celtics, they were able to put 5 guys out there that could all kind of shoot. And it kind of bent the defense a little bit, and they knocked down shots, and they were, able to win a championship. So hats off to them. Obviously, the ball club that's, in this room all wants to win. Understands where they fell short last year. We're all bought into that idea of doing it. We understand we need health, good fortune, all that other stuff to go our way, but that's the North Star and that's the goal.
Right here in the front, Valencia. Here we go. Come on. Do we want to air guitar battle? Because I will win.
No, I want that.
Okay.
They make theirs and whatnot. I'm never gonna shy away from that. So there we go.
I'm very glad to have you back.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back. Serious question, real serious.
Yeah.
You put a poll on your Instagram, if memory serves me correct, about hair, no hair.
Yeah.
What was the deciding factor for the decision?
Oh, my mom. Yeah.
What'd you say?
She just like it when I cut my hair. She think I look like cleaner and younger and all that. I'm not homeless, so I was like, all right.
Shout out to moms for keeping it real.
Yeah.
Shout out to mine. Okay.
There you go.
And outside of that, for your off season, obviously you're not new to having a good off season.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the most enjoyable part for you outside of basketball? I know you said you got the family home here in Dallas, so.
I mean, this didn't happen in the off season, but it happened leading up to my off season. My second son was born, so that was cool. So now I got like a little fat version of my dad, like crying in the house. No, I'm serious. He looks like he's 65, but he's 6 months. I promise you, y'all laughing. I'm being serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how's it been being a dad of 2? Is that an adjustment for you?
I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I have a nanny, so like, there's help. But I love being a dad. I don't like diapers, but all the fun stuff, like, it's great. Like when they smile, like there's nothing that matches that. There's no, high or warmth or anything. It just changes your day. So, I love that for sure.
Listen, my show is Real Talk Sports, so we definitely appreciate the real talk.
The real talk, there it is.
All right, last one for Spence.
All right, this is a 2-part question,
What's
Spence.
up?
Chris with CNO.com.
Yeah.
When you got the news, before you made, obviously, your decision, Klay Thompson was coming to the Mavericks.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts about that? Did that help make your decision to come back?
I mean, yeah. Like I said, you want to play meaningful basketball. I think, primarily, again, like, you had some other options, but primarily, again, it was like Lakers, Mavs. You know what I'm saying? So, I made a different decision this time. I mean,
I like that. And last question. So, this is a unique situation. I've asked the 2 other guys that have signature shoes. There's 4 guys on this team.
I know.
How is that?
United.
Because you got Luka, Jordan Brand, the 2 other guys, and you got 361. I want you to talk about that because it's Aaron Gordon, yourself, and Jokic, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that, Brand, and just how is it to have 4 guys on the team with signature shoes?
I mean, it seems kind of unprecedented, to be honest. I don't know of another time that happened. You want me to talk about 361 or just
Yeah,
like?
it's okay.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, they're a Chinese brand. They're really big in China. You know, one thing that I've noticed is that they gravitate towards stories of hard work and perseverance, and I think that's one of the reasons why we align so well. Obviously, coming off ACL and like I kind of mentioned the recovery and all that stuff, and just hooping. I mean, shit, I was having like 21 at the time, so. And then it was a good marriage. I had my own shoe prior to that, and then we kind of collaborated. Now they do all the stuff, and they've been a dream partner to work with. I love my signature shoe. The third one's coming out this year with 361. I'm actually wearing Elijah's colorway. It's always like a green one, which y'all have seen before, obviously on the Mavs court. So yeah, we got like another like 10, 12 colorways coming, and yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Thank you, boss.
Spence, appreciate it.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Glad to be back. Sorry, guys.